Hi, this is Lori with Story Time here at Voice in the Dark, part of spiritscrossing.net. Um, Tonight, I've got another picture for coloring, and tonight I wanted to talk about, it's called shadow work. Not many people really talk about what it really entails, and I've been going through a lot of that recently, and they call it the dark night of the soul. And it's where you have to really face everything you've hidden from yourself. It doesn't matter about the world, but what you've hidden from yourself about different pains or hurts, things that you just bury. So I'm going to talk about that and how it makes it easier to understand how to love yourself more. So here's the new picture. Go ahead and stop the screen and print that. And you can color while I talk. I might try to color a little bit. I haven't been getting much of that in. So, dark night of the soul and shadow work that they're always telling you need to do. Shadow work is about facing our fears and the things that we don't like about ourselves, the things that we have done that we don't like about ourselves, and we have hidden it deep in our mind somewhere. But eventually our mind gets kind of clogged, and we really can't go forward any further until we actually do the work and clean it out. And I found after a divorce, my second divorce, that all I could do was focus on making money and get my income up. And I went numb. I thought I'd be better once I got my income leveled off, where it's satisfactory. And no, I went numb. I went numb because I've always refused to feel the pain, the loss. Now, if it's somebody that's passed away, yeah, I feel that loss and I let it go. I acknowledge it. I allow myself to cry. I allow myself to feel it and walk my way through it. It takes time. But I never did that when it came to relationships of any kind. I don't know if it stems from childhood or past lives, but my theory was I would never allow anyone to see that they had caused me pain in any way, shape, or form. Whether it was, if it was physical, I was always tougher, so I always got them back. But when it was mental and emotional and rejection, I just never allowed it to be seen that it hurt my feelings or how they talked to me or things like that. And I just kept burying this stuff, and it built up. It was quite the tower. It was pretty impressive. Real thick walls. And going through them these last couple of years has not been pleasant or easy. So when they tell you to do your shadow work, it isn't about your temper and the horrible attitude you have or about, things like that. What it's about is getting to the bottom of what causes that anger, what causes that horrible feeling that makes you drink or do drugs or have as much sex as you can find. And, what is it that you're bearing that you did not want to face? Is it shame? Is it guilt? I've done a lot of things that I'm ashamed of. And it took a lot for me to admit that to myself. The rest of the world, all my friends and even my family would forgive me. But I didn't. And I was really disappointed in myself. And I felt that there was something wrong with me. That there had to be something wrong with me. Because I allowed people to walk all over me. I put up with things with some things with some men that a normal person wouldn't. They tell them to go fuck themselves or go to hell, whatever. But I didn't. I tolerated a lot because I wanted to be loved. And what's funny, well, it's not funny, but it's ironic or whatever, I don't know what you call it. I've always been loved. Deeply loved by friends and family and associates, but I never felt that I found the right person to be with until I realized that I have to be the right person. I have to love me the way I want to be loved. I have to be loved. I have to love myself the way my childhood wanted to be loved, and my teenager, and my young wife and mother. I have to love myself unconditionally. So it meant I had to go through and really walk through the pain. And sometimes you want to scream. You're like, no, I did scream a couple times. I said, no, I'm not going through the pain. I was just like a little kid. And my spirit guides, or Michael actually, Archangel, he yelled back and said, do it now. No, now. So finally I had to, because he yells louder than I do. And I trust Michael. So I finally allowed myself to feel the pain and cry and shiver and shake and then try to stop it, and then start all over again. And it's a process. But at the end of it all, and there was plenty to go through. It's taken 2.5 years of steadfast every day going through something. I buried a lot. And I buried a lot in past lives, because the first half of my life was based on going through all this stuff again, because I never dealt with it then. So I had accumulated quite a bit of crap. And but it all stemmed from allowing my power to be taken and to misunderstand life in the aspect of it's okay to love yourself. It's okay that you make mistakes. It's the only way we learn. And but I always like to be in there and make it right the first time, And however, nobody gives us a book on how to handle relationships, whether they're with our kids, our friends, our parents, our spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever it is, our mates. Nobody gives you a book for life. And I'm here to tell you now that I'm working on writing one because everything I've been through and the crap I've had to go through and pull forward and face about myself has been difficult, but so freeing that I'm able to sit here and tell you about it. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that are going through the same things. They don't understand what they're going through, though. And it's this. We are in a time of ascension. The humans finally made it. Yay! We finally get to ascend. And with that, though, we have to be clean slates. And that means we have to clear out all our karma. And you don't have to keep going through karma. If you would just sit down and look back at your life and the things that you didn't want to think about anymore or whatever, things that bothered you, though, and really look at them and learn the lesson. See, I always took life as a victim. I thought I was a victim because I didn't understand why all these things would happen to me, and I was nice. Evidently, I wasn't in a past life somewhere, though, because I've taken some shit in this one. But it didn't change me. I never allowed it to change me, except for my love relationships, my partner. And I've been married twice. And I've had a couple children out of wedlock, and both their dads were different men. So I've been around the field a little bit, and just couldn't find what I was looking for. But that's because I didn't know how to love myself to show the world what I wanted and who I was. So don't give up on yourselves, any of you. Find a way to take the time to deep breathe, meditate, ask your spirit guides, ask the angels. They're all here to help and help guide you through. You'll learn it through your dreams, and but learn to really pay attention to your dreams. So, because most of the time they give us some kind of imaging, like like a movie, I guess, But anyway, when you're dreaming, but they have input in there so that we can see what it is we do that offends us and offends our soul. See, our soul wants us to heal, but we can't heal completely unless the ego and the physical form agrees and says, okay, I'll do the work. Let me tell you, you're backed up by the entire universe. There are some bad energies here on Earth that don't want us to succeed and don't want us to leave because they like using us, but that's neither here nor there. Don't worry about them. Center yourself in God and the white light, and know that you're governed by a higher power than man's rules, and they're bullshit. And learn to look at yourself in the mirror, and instead of seeing all the wrinkles or the gray hair and the overweight, and I started losing weight, now I got skin, and it's like, stop saying start saying, you know what, I earned every pound that I'm wearing. I've earned every scar that I'm wearing. And that gray hair, let me tell you, I had 2 beautiful daughters, and they put me through the ropes. So I earned every one of them gray hairs. Well, including my father. He was kind of a pest. But anyway, what I'm saying is, that's my life. I'm looking at my life, and I want to love my life. My life was 90% great. 10% was bad. But when you feel like a victim and you don't see it as a lesson to be learned about yourself, because that's what these are, these bad situations, these bad things that we go through. They're lessons to show us what made me and my person make that choice. What was it? What am I trying to learn from this? That's all the shadow work is, and learning to love yourself. The shadow work is learning to love yourself. Because once you identify your shadow work and your nuances that you have towards dating or this or that, jobs, everything, friendships, family, when you start really looking at it and start healing and mending those things, because you have to walk through them, you got to walk through the pain, you got to walk through the uncomfortableness of shame and guilt. And then you got to forgive yourself. And I always said I couldn't understand how God always forgave us. And I had trouble forgiving myself. And but eventually I did. And eventually you will. And that's the biggest step forward, those 2 steps. And then it's looking in the mirror and loving everything you see and appreciating everything you see and looking around your home. I was depressed about my home because I kept seeing all the bad things that were there, that were the damage that was done and the left, and, I'm holding the bag, Be glad you're holding the damn bag. Be glad you're out of that situation because it was bad. God takes us out of situations when they get violent and when they're bad. And some of us aren't smart enough to walk, and some of us are. Learn to walk, because nobody has a right to do that to anyone. And find a support group, and find a good psychiatrist if you have to, and a good healer or shaman, or a meditation group, so you can learn to meditate properly. And if you have trouble with all that and you think it's your mind, you can't settle it down, well, no, you can't. But you can deep breathe and focus on your third eye or a candle if you don't want your eyes closed. Music, soft music, so that you're hearing something that you're focused on hearing. You're focusing your eye here or on a candle, and you're focusing the rest of your mind on your deep breathing. The thoughts will come, they'll go. You get stuck on one, just acknowledge that you're stuck on it, and it'll go away. Another one will come back, a different one will come up. It takes time to reach that silent thing. It's not necessary. But the silent thing, if you are interested, is the most profound experience you'll ever have. It's when you actually touch Source, God is all it is, in the presence of its immensity and its nothingness. It is, well, there really are no words, but it is a very profound experience, and that is where enlightenment comes from. And right now, you just want to heal yourself, get your energy up, because there's going to be a lot more things happening on the planet now. And the thing is that they are strictly conditions that are being forced to force you to go inward, inward, inward. Not at church. Church is wonderful. It's a great place to worship. But to get to know God in your own soul, you have to go and do the inward work. So you have to meditate, deep breathe. If you only do it 5 minutes a day, twice a day, cool. You'll build up. But you have to do something now, because we are changing. Our energy patterns are changing. The earth is changing. And you don't want to, you don't want to be falling behind or anything, And so, plus with the things that are coming, it's going to be like a compression for all of us. And it'll bring these things up if you were in denial about anything. And look at it, get to know it, sit in it, feel where it came from. What aspect in you was scared of something that you didn't do what was right for yourself? What aspect in you makes you feel this way? And then that's where the real answers are. And so get on a commitment to yourself, to your own soul. Try to stay off of social media as much as possible, and definitely the TV. These things are going to happen because they help push people. When horrible things happen, it makes people go inward and seek God. See, when we seek God, we go inward. When we praise God, we pray and we worship. So seek God deeply and trust and have faith that it's all there under little bitty rugs that we kind of buried things under. Hopefully you don't have the kind of tower I have, but if you do, good luck, and you will get through it. Just keep asking the angels for help. Because there's so much wonderful energy coming onto the planet right now, and it's actually going to be easier for you because it's a higher energy. So I want you to learn to meditate every day, because I want you to find a way to find happy. It can be anger to headache and then happy. A little bit of happy. Something. But get your energy up. Get it focused on things that you love to do, you like to do. You're going to get more creativity coming through now, creative ideas for everything. It might be for the planet. It might be for the homeless. It might be for the food. Who knows? But we're all a part of this. And I just look forward to seeing all of us succeed and become our best human self. And so, blessings and love. I hope this helps somebody out there. And don't be afraid of your shadow work. Do it. It's scary as hell, I'm not going to lie, because it's something that we didn't want to go through. We didn't want to feel. And then when you finally get through it all, you're sitting there going, phew, because it's gone. It no more affects you. And it's a relief. So allow yourself to feel some relief, because everybody's at this point, and it's time to be active towards your future, because your future is here already. We're in the 5th dimension. We made it, and now the real work really starts, and the fun stuff. There'll still be some residual back and forth from the 3D to 4D. We'll see it, but try not to get involved in it. Say blessings and everything and feel, because we don't never want to lose our empathy or our compassion, because compassion is the highest form of love, which is God, and power. I believe in magic, but I believe love is the greatest magic, and the people that have been using magic on the planet to be successful and to this and that, they're using the old time magic, which really was never meant for here. But love is the greatest power. So when you add that to magic, you become a god. So let's become gods. I want to fly with the gods. And, don't worry about, religion and all that. It has its place. There's nothing wrong with it, whether you like it or not. I mean, you can like it or you don't have to. You can be an atheist. You can still get to God. So that's the relationship that's important to be fussy about, is your spiritual time that you spend alone with God and your inner godness, which is your soul. And get acquainted and let it help you bring the two together. Because we're actually even more unique than you'd ever dream. And I know a lot of ego likes to hold on to, what we are. I'm not changing, I don't want to soften up or anything. Well, actually, you soften up, but you get firmer and stronger. You're not weak in any way, shape, or form. And you can stand up for who you really are, your own unique self. And God's vision of your unique self was by far much greater than what we show in our day-to-day lives. So, I don't know about you, but I like a challenge, kind of. So let's find out who the hell we are. Let's find out who we really are. Anyway, love and blessings. I'll talk to you later. I hope it helps somebody. Take care.